Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Abby Wynja with Fitness is Medicine, and I'm going to lead you through a workout today that will work all of your body, some large muscle groups, upper body, lower body, core, and we'll add some balance in there too. So today we're going to start with a row, and I'm going to use my tubes. If you have a band, you can use the same thing, or if you happen to have a home machine, you can use that as well. I want you to be in just a little bit of a squat. And when you row, you want the band out in front of you where you're pulling from. So you can, if you just have a band, you can wrap it around a railing or, anything stable. Just a little bit of a squat, not a full squat, just a good athletic stance so your abs are tight. And we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades back and keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. So take a breath before you start, breathe out. And as you squeeze back, think about squeezing a pencil between those shoulder blades. We're going to go ahead and do 10 of these. Just bring those arms, the handles or the bands straight towards your armpit, and think about driving your elbows towards the back of the room. 2 more. And 10. Good. Okay, next we're going to do a lower extremity exercise. I like to call this one quad burners. And I'm going to use a step. And all you do, this is a really good one if you do have knee pain with standing or stairs or anything, because you're going to put one foot up on that step. And you can do this on your staircase. You can use a step stool if you have, those small ones for kids type of thing. Just something a little bit elevated for your foot to go up on. So you're going to lean your body weight over that supporting foot, and you're going to keep this knee bent. You want your knee straight over your ankle, and you're going to go back and forth like this. So your hands can stay here, or they can go opposite of your arms, just like you're walking. And we're going to do 10 on each side. Now you should really be feeling that in your quad and even in your glutes. Sometimes I call these butt burners as well. Okay. Shake that leg out if you need to. Put that other foot up on the bench. Now you want to be leaning over that supporting leg, but you don't want to have poor posture. You want to keep that back nice and tall, shoulder blades pulled back, head in line with your spine. And just keep this knee bent. You don't want to be going up and down like this. That's a little bit different. You just want to hold that static, isometric hold. And if you feel like 10 aren't enough, go ahead and do more. I don't know how many I just did, but it was at least 10. Okay, quad burners. Next we're going to do a move on the floor. And I like to call this one fire hydrants, and you'll see why. So down on your hands and knees, and this is a good one to target your glutes. If you followed the hips one the other day, this is another hip exercise that you can do. So your hands directly below your shoulders, knees directly below your hips, and all you're going to do is lift up one side, one bent knee out to the side, keeping a flat back. So think about keeping a teacup balanced on your back. Keeping that flat back. You don't need to rotate around. That puts extra pressure, and you don't want to do that to those hips. It's just right here, targeting that glute. And we'll do 10 on one side and then switch. So I'll turn around here. Refresh my camera. It's not a very large range of motion. Sometimes people use a band wrapped around their knees if you need a little extra resistance, but honestly, if you just go nice and slowly and do more, you don't necessarily need a band. This one really just focuses on those glutes, and if you just do a few more, you'll start to get that burn. Keeping that nice flat back. Okay, and if you have any wrist trouble with something like that, you can balance on your knuckles like that, or you can even use dumbbells. Sometimes that feels better to be on your wrists. for that support. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to use these dumbbells for a single leg stance with biceps. And what I want you to do is stand, I gotta move my step out of the way here. Stand on one foot, and we're going to balance, single leg stance, while we do your bicep curls. So adding that instability, doing balance, and when you do that, it also activates your core more. So standing on one foot, and I want you to focus on the eccentric of these bicep curls. So that means the way down. So I want you to count to 2 on the way up. Actually 3, we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna count to 5 on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let those arms go all the way straight. With those elbows, go all the way straight at the bottom. If you are having trouble balancing on one foot, go ahead and you can kind of stand next to, like if you stand next to something like this, it will help you balance, or stand next to a bench. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep those hips level. Don't sag into that standing hip. Keep those hips level. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that was 5. Let's switch feet. 1, 2, 3. I think we're doing 3. I don't remember. But the most important part is to do the slow on the way down. This can really strengthen those muscles even more so. And so you can even use this if you don't have a heavy enough weight at home. Doing that slow eccentric movement really emphasizes those muscles to kick in and really have to control that weight and strengthen those muscles even more. And you can do this with lots of different exercises, just doing the relaxing motion almost slower, the eccentric motion. This is called the concentric motion, doing that eccentric motion slower. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, great. Now, we're gonna do mountain climbers. And I'm gonna show you how to start them off on the bench, on a bench. You can use a coffee table or a bench or a bed or even a sturdy kitchen chair if you have it up against a wall. But you basically start in a plank, and then you're gonna bring your knees towards your chest. So if you wanna start, this is kind of how to start. Do it on a bench, and you're gonna bring your knees towards your chest. So keeping your shoulders down away from your ears, keeping a nice big flat line from your heels to the top of your head, bringing those knees towards your chest each time. Now, if you've done these before and you want a little bit more of a challenge, or if you have tried that and you think, let's try this, try it on the floor, start in a plank, and bring those knees right up towards your chest. Try not to touch your foot down in between. Just pick it up, bring it towards your chest. Try to do 10 on each side. So if you feel like that's too hard, start with 5 on each side. Start on the bench. Focus on keeping those shoulders away from your ears. I notice people tend to kind of really hunch those shoulders up, especially as you get tired or if you're not used to it. So focus on that, a flat line from your knees to your head, or from your heels to your head, and keeping those abs engaged, of course. You'll feel that in your abs as you continue to go. Okay, the last one is we're going to do a side-reaching shoulder press using a band. So I want you to step on the band on the same side that you are going to be working. So step on the band, hold the band on that same side. I want your legs and feet nice and wide because we're going to kind of shift your weight back and forth. So starting here, and we're going to reach up to the side like this. So we're just shifting our weight back and forth. It's not really a squat or a lunge. It's just sort of good athletic weight shifts. So reaching up to the side diagonally, that good side reach, and you can adjust the strength of your band. If you feel like this is pretty easy and you want a little more, hold it tighter. And we're going to go ahead and do 10. Get a good stretch through that side. 9, 10. Okay, now we'll switch. Step on it with the opposite foot. Hold it with that same side. You want your feet nice and wide because we're just shifting weight back and forth. So I'm going to hold it a little tighter and press all the way across, reaching up and across your body. And this other hand can just kind of hang out here. I'm just kind of using it, keeping it out of the way, but, you know, just helping it to keep my balance through all of these. Okay, great. Let's go through these one more time. I didn't mention at the beginning, but if you want to, I have not been doing the warm-ups and the cool-downs and any cardio in these, just for time's sake. It's not really fun to watch somebody do a bunch of cardio, but I will be posting some warm-ups if you need ideas. And I also did some warm-ups early on in these videos. So if you get to these, go ahead and do some sort of a warm-up before you start these videos. So walk around the block, walk up and down your stairs a few times. If you have a treadmill or an elliptical or a bike, go ahead and jump on that for at least 5 minutes to warm your muscles up and prepare them for exercise. And the other thing you can do is, in between these, you can press pause now and do 5 more minutes of cardio, and then come back and do another set. And then you can even do another 5 or 10 minutes of cardio, and then rewind and do 1 more set. You can do it kind of however works for you. If you need more, you can even do another set, or you can do 1 set, and then later on in the day, go through them again. Just to, if you don't have that much time, take 10 minutes, 5 minutes doing the warm-up, and then going through these once, and just kind of making it work for you. So if you need more, add more sets, add more cardio in between. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a squat, shoulders down, pull those arms, drive those elbows towards the back of the room, pulling your hands straight towards your armpits, squeezing those shoulder blades like you're trying to squeeze a pencil. Breathing each time. So take a breath now, and then breathe out as you pull back. And even if you can't get that breathing down quite right, it's okay. As long as you keep breathing in general, breathing through the exercises. You never want to hold your breath. If you have any blood pressure issues, that can be dangerous for your blood pressure. So next we're going to do those quad burners. So 1 foot on the step. Let's start with the opposite foot that you started with last time. So remember, you want a good bend in that. You want your body up over that supporting leg, knee right over your ankle, and you're just going to go back and forth like this. Kind of driving that knee forward towards your chin. You should feel it in that quad. Look down and make sure that this knee is staying straight over your ankle. If it's caving in like this, that valgus motion, really focus on keeping that knee straight over your ankle. That's where you're going to get the most stability. And if you do notice that happening, send me a message and I can send you a couple things that you can do to help counteract that. Because if that's happening while you're doing some of these exercises, it's probably happening when you're getting out of a chair, when you're squatting down to pick something up, things like that. So send me a message if you find that happening, and I can give you a couple things to help counteract that. But for now, really just focus on keeping, even if you put a hand there, and focus on keeping that knee straight over your ankle. Okay, down to the floor for fire hydrants. On your hands and knees, flat back. just bringing that knee out to the side. It's not a huge movement, but you should feel that right in your quad. Like I said, you can add a band to this if you would like, but you don't necessarily need one. I think if you just do a few more and go nice and slowly, it's plenty of resistance. Sometimes I feel like if you add a band, you start substituting with other muscles and doing some funky stuff for your back. If you have any back pain with this, you can sit back and do a child's pose in between, and that's a good stretch for it anyway. But if you have any back pain, do an even smaller range of motion and really focus on keeping those abs tight to support that entire core all the way around. Keeping those shoulders away from your ears, hands directly below your shoulders. All right, great. Okay, now we're going to do that single leg stance bicep curls with that slow eccentric motion. So let's start on the opposite foot that you started with last time. So I'm going to start on this. Wait, I think I started on the other one. I'm going to start with this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really focusing on those muscle fibers, controlling that movement. And when you go slower, it's also more protective for your joints. And you make sure you're not substituting with other muscles. So many times with bicep curls, you'll see, those big heavy lifting dudes in the gym swinging their muscles and swinging those weights, and they're doing most of the lifting with their back. That's why they have to wear those weird weight belts. 4, 5. This really just requires your biceps to do all the work. 5. Keeping those abs nice and tight. Not letting any other muscles start to substitute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't cheat. Don't put your foot behind like this and hold. Try to hold it out like this. If standing on one foot is way too much for this, do a tandem stance. Just put one foot right out in front. And if that's too much, stagger your feet. You just want to try to create a little bit of varying that base of support, making it unstable, and that it challenges your balance, you're challenging your core while you're doing a quote-unquote simple movement like bicep curls. So you can challenge more of your body by creating an unstable base of support. Okay, next we're doing mountain climbers. We'll start on the bench. If you know you can do these on the floor, go ahead and do that. But make sure you're right up over your hands. You want your shoulders over your hands, no matter if you're on the bench or if you're on the floor. You don't want to be out here. Notice my shoulders are not in a good position. You want to be right up over that so you have a straight line from your head to your heels. Go ahead and do these on the floor if that's what you need for your challenge. Remember, you can use a kitchen chair or any chair, but make sure it's something that's stable. And many times if you do a kitchen chair for that type of exercise or a plank or a push-up, push it up against a wall so that it's not going to go anywhere as you are pushing against it. Okay, one more. We're going to do that side reaching shoulder press with the band. So remember, you want your feet wide apart because you're going to be swaying. I'm going to start with the opposite foot that I did last time. You're going to be swaying, kind of. So hold it in the same hand that you're stepping on it with and push across. Just swaying that weight back and forth. Just a little bit of a bend in those knees, not really a squat or a lunge, just a little bit of a weight shift, really. Pushing up, reaching across your body. And this feels good to get that good stretch all along the side of that body. Remember, you can hold it looser if you need less resistance. You can hold it tighter if you need more. Switch feet, step on it with the same side. And then also, if you're having trouble hanging onto it, you can wrap it around your hand. Oops. Try to keep those shoulders down the whole time. Even though you're reaching across and pressing your shoulder up, it's still staying here. It's not reaching here. Stretch all the way across. 9 and 10. Okay, great. Okay, like I said, go ahead and you can rewind. You could go do some more cardio right now. Rewind, do this all the way through again. There's lots of different ways you can make this work for you, but before you start these, make sure you do get a good warm-up in of some sort. You can do some sidestepping, some grapevine that I've done before. You can go for a walk around the block. Really nice weather out right now, so let me know if you have any questions or if you need any substitutions. Great work, everybody.